Well, this morning I have Helen and Angela with me to help us with our readings. We're going to have a couple of readings, but first of all, Helen and Angela, how are you both? How are you keeping in these strange times?
It's
Yes,
as you
all
said.
well with us, thank you.
They are very strange times.
What has been the biggest impact, Helen? What's been the biggest impact for you of the whole situation?
I think it's the fellowship that's been the biggest impact. The not being able to meet with everybody. Lockdown was a challenge. Working through lockdown was a godsend, and if to put it like that. But other than that, no, we're managing fine now. We're getting used to it. Unfortunately, we'll wish it wasn't something that we had to get used to, but we have to keep everybody safe wherever possible.
And as people keep saying, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You, Angela, biggest impact?
Well, for me, probably the biggest impact was that I had to stop doing altar activities, which I do quite a few of those. I'm a steward at St George's Chapel, and I'm a steward at Norden Farm, and I'm a volunteer with Samaritans and various other things like that. And that all stopped for me during lockdown, but I am trying to get back a little bit now to things. I'm back to doing duties at Samaritans anyway, so that's satisfying to be able to do a little bit.
Excellent. Well, we're glad you can help out with us this morning. And we have a couple of readings, as I say. Helen's going to give us a reading from the Old Testament, and then Angela will give us a reading from the New Testament. So I'm going to disappear from the screen and allow the computer to work out who's speaking at any one time.
Okay, so I'm going for our first reading, which is from Ecclesiastes 3, and it's verses 1 to 8, and it's a time for everything. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away, a time to search and a time to quit searching, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace.
And over to Angela now for our second reading.
Okay, the second reading is from John chapter 15, and it's verses 1 to 17. It's all about the vine and the branches. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine and you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last, and so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. This is my command: love each other.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Helen, for helping us with those readings. We really look forward to seeing you in person sooner rather than later, and renewing that fellowship that Helen mentioned is so lacking at the moment. But right now, before we reflect on those passages and try to apply them to ourselves, let's invite the Holy Spirit to breathe new life into us as we sing our next song.